Lynette Oxley here for Tack Shack Tactical TV. Here with Paul. Paul in the last show for the year.
Hello Lynette, hello viewers, yeah.
I'm feeling it this year, but I'm working straight through, but yeah, feeling quite tired right now.
Yeah, it's been a year this.
It has.
But it's been a good year, I think, in general. The fact that we're still here, that we survived, because things got difficult this year. The economy's in a very, very bad place. All you guys out there, hang in. You will get through it. It's...
Do you want to talk about your consultation with the SAPS? When was it, Monday?
Yeah, so we're working straight through with that as well, which is really interesting. So on Monday we had a sit-down meeting with SAPS and Dealers Association in Pretoria, and with various policemen from legal services, from TMS, but under the auspices of Major General Mamutete, the head of Flash. So it's important that she's at the meeting, because if she's not at the meeting, things don't get done, and we end up in swabbles with petty officials. It's so she lends a certain degree of authority and gravity to the meeting, and she can make decisions because she's a divisional commander. So that was good. We had a very good meeting, by the way. So this is all about the upcoming new firearms control system. That's what it'll be called, the FCS. So they went to from the firearms management system to the enhanced firearms management system. Now we're going to the firearms control system. This is the latest iteration. But it's a complete rewrite. It's not taking anything from the old system. They're going to import the data after they've purified it and filtered it, because of course the data on the old enhanced firearms management system is a nightmare. So the good news is that we're going to help them sort the data out, which means that there's a chance that there'll be less garbage in. There are technical, I'm sending a letter in this afternoon to the police. It's got to be in by Friday, which is a public holiday, but we're working through, for a meeting early next week where we start to divide into technical task teams. One of the first technical task teams is going to be from the dealer side. It's going to be how to purify the data, and an offshoot of that, how to identify firearms, because the caliber code has become a joke. There's like 9 or 10 9mm parabellum and 9x19 caliber codes. There's 9mm rifle, there's 9mm pistol, there's 9mm self-loading rifle.
No, while I'm doing the 350s, it's a mess.
So what they've done is they've tried to attach the firearm description to a caliber. Now that's just plain stupid, and you can imagine it's probably even worse with .22s, because although you don't, because it's a rimfire, because although you don't get too many 9mm revolvers, you still do get them, but you get lots of .22 revolvers. So you get .22
there was one
pistol, .22 semi-automatic pistol, .22 rifle, .22 self-loading.
There was one that had about that long a description of one of the teachings that I've done in the last year or so.
So that's going to be sorted. We're going to find a way through that maze. The other stuff is the system. So a lot of the meeting was run by apart from the general being there, was presented mostly by SETA, the State Information Technology Agency, who are the states. They are the guys that instruct the service provider, which is Providence Software Solutions, as we know. But the project manager for SETA, Julio, is the important guy from a technical aspect in this whole thing, from getting stuff done. And they presented their flow charts and how the system is going to work, and I can tell you briefly how it's going to work. it's going to be a transactional system. It's not going to be a system based on inputting data and hoping it gets captured.
So 350s is out of the door.
350s are gone at last, because you know they only ever implemented the 350s, the dealer transfer forms, the stock forms. There's supposed to be two of them. There's supposed to be a 350A, which is when you bring items onto stock, and a 350B when you other way around.
Stock receipt and stock
supplied. So A and B, but they've never used the stock supplied. They've never tallied up the stock supplied. So it's supposed to be a double entry accounting system. So importer A sells dealer B a firearm. So the importer A supplies the firearm to importer B and to retailer B, and retailer B accepts the firearm from. So the double entry is supposed to guarantee that that everything gets captured, nothing falls through the cracks. But they haven't operated the one side of it, the 350Bs, ever. So lots of stuff falls through the cracks. So that's one of the reasons it's led to firearms moving back in the system, because it's not confirmed and blah 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 blah, whole trade smash. So that's going to be replaced with with one-time pins, which are just, so the whole system is going to move into automated mode. It's going to move into the cloud. And yes, we're aware of the problems that entails, as far as comms is concerned, and load shedding, etc., etc., etc. That's being planned into it. So what it will mean is, if I as a dealer go to a wholesaler to collect a firearm, the wholesaler enters my details into the system. I must be a recognized person on the system. I must be registered on the system. They enter the firearm details, and they enter my details into the system. They say they're supplying it to, for argument's sake, Tax Shack, the dealer code 100486. The moment they enter that on their side, it generates a one-time PIN which goes to my cell phone. And Paul Oxley's picking up the firearm. So then only if I'm registered on the system with dealer's competence, and then I'm on the books of Tax Shack, will it send generate a one-time PIN for me. It'll send the one-time PIN to my cell phone. I then present the one-time PIN to the guy from the wholesaler, and he enters the one-time PIN on the system, and boom, it's done. The transfer has taken place. The firearms are now in my possession. I then bring them back to the shop. I then put them from as the person that's collected the firearms enters them into the shop's stock. So this waiting for firearms to be entered in, it all disappears. It all goes away. And the same sort of thing is going to happen with people collecting firearms. They will receive a one-time PIN. They go into the gun shop. They say, "Here's my one-time PIN." Then I, as the gun shop owner, know that the firearm is and then I can only enter that one-time PIN into the system, and it'll only recognize that one-time PIN from that person for that firearm. So this whole thing that we've suffered for years with firearms, where the SAPS system is so far out of date, and it just breaks down around our ears, and they don't know where firearms are. Has this guy actually got a license? Blah blah blah. All of that will be sorted out.
And this, we're talking about April, about next year. So
they want to. So they're dealing in the first place with dealers, manufacturers, and gunsmiths, because there's only like 800 of us. So it's a small sample, so you make small mistakes, aim small, miss small. So they're dealing with the DMGs first. They reckon that, and the courier's thrown into that, because anyway, they're dealing with that first, and that they want to get a beta system up and operational by April 2024, 4 months time. That's going to be really, really interesting, which is why we're having a meeting next week of the technical task teams to start sorting out data purification and what is a firearm. Because as I say, we can't have the bloody caliber codes determining what firearms.
And hopefully we won't have changes of caliber codes in the future and all of those kind of things.
Yeah. So look, they're obviously very, very serious about it. Excuse me. and we can see they're serious about it because of other developments that have happened. I mean, it's quite common now to get firearm licenses approved in under a month.
Somebody talked to me about it
18
yesterday.
days.
18, it was less than that. Somebody actually said
really?
like 8 days or something. It was,
No, surely.
it was crazy.
Wow.
I think it was, John mentioned it to me yesterday. It was a crazy
All right.
time.
So anyway, so these something's happened. They've decided to get serious about this, and you know, we can only be thankful for that, because we've been bashing our heads against a brick wall for decades with this.
And from GOSA's side, you're going to have a front end.
So yeah, the interesting thing is, this meeting was primarily to action the SADA, South African Arms and Ammunition Dealers Association's court order against the police to put that in place. But as you'll recall, we were also involved in that, and we have another unique thing, which is interesting. So we were invited to the meeting, apart from the SADA delegation, and I must say we were the only association outside of SADA that was invited. It was a small meeting. There was like 7 or 8 members of the public in the meeting, and then the police, lots and lots of policemen, and people from CETA, the State Information Technology, etc. So so that we could move fast, so that we could get stuff done, so we wouldn't end up arguing with each other, and that worked. So it's going to carry on in the small format, the short format, so that we can get stuff done. Where GOSA specifically has a place at the table is because of our front end that we're busy developing. Because eventually, although they're dealing with DMGs at the moment, eventually this process will be rolled out to the general public. So electronic applications, web-based applications for firearms, but they haven't started working on the end user front end yet. They're working on the back end. And we have already got the end user front end, which we're about to launch, which we're busy launching. We start at the beginning of this month. Yeah. We're doing a soft launch. We've got I think 16 people on the system right now. So we've been testing things out. We've been testing out how you log in and blah blah. What do you have access to, and what this drop down list should say, etc., etc. We had a meeting about it this morning for about an hour and a half with the developers. We're looking to roll that out to our membership, going down, working our way down the Christmas tree. So we're really offering it, I think, to our Diamond family members, or Diamond family members and Lifetime members. We're really offering it to them now. From next year, we'll start working our way down the tree. It'll be, it'll come down to,
but it's going to make
tier by tier, and eventually to the general public, because we're a public benefit organization. It's going to make things. We were talking about this morning, so there's various things that come up, because there's various elements to this. So there's the payment. So the police have already agreed that this is going to be electronic funds transfer. So no longer running through the finance office at the police station, which has also been a huge problem, because you arrive there, you don't have change. They only accept cash, etc., etc., etc. Finance offices closed because their systems down.
Change once because the price went down, and then
DFO arrived here with a bank bag with change for us.
It's like R5 or something.
Because they've got to account for that, because otherwise the money went missing somewhere. Or there's that accusation which can be made. So they're very sensitive towards that as well.
But everything from GOSA's side is also going to be automated.
Everything.
It's going to be so much better.
We're going to be rolling that out from the beginning of next month. We've got Hannes hates me when I say this. We've got a semi-manual system, and we've got a fully automated system running side by side. So he's shaking his head and laughing in the background.
And
snorting
as well.
But yeah, we need to cater for everybody. So everybody will have free access to the semi-manual system.
Okay.
So that's going to be fantastic, and we're the lead agency for this. So we're the guys that are in that meeting. We're the guys that are talking to the project manager at CETA. we're having a meeting next week, as I said, and we're bringing our software developers into that meeting. So we've already got a user front end, an end user front end. So we want to show that to them and say to them, you're welcome to use it if you want to. You know, we've already got the code is already, it's already operating. So hopefully we can speed up their development back end by presenting to them a working front end. So won't that be fantastic?
But there's also all kinds of other stuff happening in the background.
We were discussing this morning about identification for CRC. So there's these things called palm vein scanners, which I've seen some videos of in use in the States in retail shops. The guys, the goods are all offered, tagged, they bring them through the line at the automated teller. An amount pops up on the screen, and there's a sensor, which is as I say, I now heard this morning, is a palm vein scanner. Okay, so it scans the veins in your palm of your hand, and according to that, it identifies you. Apparently, it's 100 times more accurate, more discreet. No, than an iris scanner.
Oh, okay.
100 times. It can scan through a glove. You don't even have to take a glove off for it to scan your hand. So they're using it in surgery suites in hospitals, where the doctors come into the surgery suite with their gloves on, and they can't touch anything because it's not sterile. And for motor mechanics, where they have grease on their hands, so they can put their hand literally this far above the scanner, and the scanner, it's obviously infrared or of some nature, and it reads, because it's probably infrared, because it reads the heat of the blood circulating in your palm, and it and that's it. You're identified. So that sort of thing, we need to talk to the police about that, because then you don't have to have your fingerprints taken. So the palm vein scanner can link to, an interface has to be built to link to the CRC's fingerprints database. Once we've got that done, you don't have to leave your home to put in an application. You can pay for it at home. You can palm vein scan, because palm vein scanners are becoming increasingly available. Some computers, apparently it's a Fujitsu technology. So you may have a palm vein scanner built into your cell phone or something like that, or you have to go into a place where it's got a palm vein scanner, and they can scan you and link it to your fingerprints. You put that into you sit at home, you do all this. We're looking down the road, possibly a year or two or three, but we're starting. The process is starting. We have the police pushing for it for the first time ever.
I think we are, if I just have, I've been very busy with Tax Shack in the last, and also the 16 days of action.
Which has just ended on Sunday.
Which just ended on Sunday, so I've been not really involved in that much, but I've heard in the background, and I'm also got onto the system, and it's amazing stuff. So it will be very good for GOSA members specifically.
Well, starting with GOSA members and then the general public, because remember, we are a public benefit organisation. So GOSA is going to make it available, as we said, through our tiers of membership: Diamond, Gold, Silver, Ordinary, and then to our Facebook members, the 120,000 Facebook members, and broader from that to the general public, because we're a public benefit organisation. We have to provide a benefit to the public. It's part of our charter. So that's quite exciting. The first 6 months of next year are going to be hectic. They're going to be hectic busy, leading into all of this. We don't know how realistic April is next year, but we're going to do whatever we can as industry to help make that happen. Because the benefits for all of us, for dealers, for owners, for the police, everybody derives benefit from this. We had, I think, 3 colonels there yesterday from compliance. And compliance is very interesting because it's a huge problem for them. They have to literally drive around from place to ensure compliance. It's essentially going to take DFOs out of the mix.
Like police can do policing.
Police can actually get involved in doing policing. Go fix a pothole. I've got to tell you this. So I've mentioned before that I've only recently ventured onto Twitter, X.
Yeah.
I've been registered for 10 years, but I've never actually done anything because I didn't really like the platform. But with our boyki Elon freeing the bird and stuff like that, I felt it's time. So oh hell.
You got, I saw some message.
Sidetracked.
It was some message on that you can do ads or something like that.
Okay, no, so no, that's not what I was wanting to talk about. But we've now been accepted. GOSA has my 6, hashtag GOSA has my 6, has now been accepted onto this morning, onto X. That we our presence there we can get advertising on X, etc., etc. So we're going to put a big push up to move. You'll see it's up on the screen now. That's our Facebook handle, our Facebook profile for the organization. Guys, please join it. Get involved with Twitter on that. I was saying about Twitter. X marks the spot. X. I was saying about X what happened about X? The thing that I started talking about.
I have no
bloody
clue.
Age, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully it'll come back to me. Damn it. Okay, all right, moving swiftly on.
That's right.
Yeah, if I remember it, I'll put it on the comments on this video. Gosh. Okay, yes.
So our calendars and wall calendars and desk calendars are supposed to arrive today. There's been a delay, but please support GOSA Girls on Fire for that. I really appreciate it. It's a way to get some funding in for the organisation.
Maybe what I'll do next week is I'll run around a little bit and go and deliver to some of the big retailers and stuff like that. Go and deliver several calendars.
Yeah.
And hopefully, so if you guys see them in the shops over the Christmas season, grab one, please. Supporting Girls on Fire. The photo shoot was incredibly exhilarating at the War Museum. It's supporting a good cause.
Yeah.
The money goes directly. Everything. The printing was sponsored for us.
Yeah.
So everything that you pay goes directly into Girls on Fire NPC. What else? Okay, so the office is closing down tomorrow for the year until the end of the first week or beginning of the second week in January. What is it, Hannes?
Most people opening on the 3rd or the 4th.
Yeah, it'll be just after New Year's. So, but we still have our 24/7 service going. We will be in the office most of the time. Hannes is coming in next week, half day. Even though the office is closed. Montanique from membership is going to be here for several days next week, right up to Christmas, and between Christmas and New Year, Lynette and I will be here. There will be people available, and as always, the 24/7 emergency phone is with GOSA Law. Cynthia will be monitoring it throughout. If you have a difficulty and you have access to the 24/7 number, don't hesitate. Get in touch. We can help you.
And if you have not become a member yet, think about it.
If you ain't a member yet, you've seen people that burned themselves big time in the last couple of months by not being members. Our services are tip top. They get the job done. They're available to you guys. You'd be mugs not to do it. Give yourself a Christmas present. Join GOSA.
Okay, anything else, Paul?
I think that's about. I still remember what I started talking about when I started talking about X. So I've been on. Let me try and trace my train of thought back. I've been on X forever, but I've only been in the last month. I've been commenting on X, and building up a following, and
you're not going to get it.
Nope, it's gone.
Anyway, on that note, yeah.
Sorry, I'm old and stupid. What can I say?
Have a fantastic Christmas and New Year, and yeah, we'll speak in the first week in January.
Yep. First Friday in January, we'll be back here.
Absolutely. Okay, cheers for now.
Bye, guys.